So welcome back again to the channel. Please, as usual, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. So we bring you more and more of videos from Germany. Yes, so I have today something I would like to share with you, and it's about some of the mistakes you should avoid. Okay, the mistakes prospective students should avoid in the student visa application process for Germany. Okay, so there are certain mistakes that you can like simply avoid so that your visa will not be rejected, your visa will be approved. Okay, but before we start, I would like to let you know that Germany is the number one study destination for international students. Yes, and apparently it is also the fourth preferred country for international students worldwide. So it looks like when you take the whole world, Germany is the number four country where international students do troop in. Yeah, so you can imagine, and this is because of the tuition free, and most universities offering um, low tuition for international students. Okay, but yeah, that's why like there are a lot of international students trooping in the country. And yeah, so for the visa at your consulate, your respective consulate, you should be very careful and avoid certain mistakes, certain common mistakes that would let the visa officer refuse your application. Okay, all right, so let's go through it step by step. Okay, so the very first one is mismatch of names between documents, right? So if there is a mismatch in your name in all your documents, the likelihood your visa will be refused is higher. Yeah. Now, you should note that if you are doing your bachelor's degree, I mean, after your bachelor's degree, okay, once you receive your transcript and other documents, your date of birth and your name and everything is on the transcript. Okay, I don't know for other countries, but for Ghana, for instance, when you take your transcript and your English proficiency, I accept, of course, the certificate. The certificates, the university certificate doesn't bear the date of birth. It's just the name, right? But the transcript and the English proficiency record your date of birth. So you should be very careful. I know that in Ghana, okay, or most African countries, when you are traveling or when you are traveling, that is where you have to do a passport, okay? Most of most of us or most of our people back home do not have passports until they have an opportunity to travel outside their country, right? So make sure that when you want to travel or when you are going in for your passport, you see, you would have had all your documents from high school, secondary school, whatever, until university. So if you are coming to do your masters, yeah, you should see to it that all the documents that you are having, you have from uh, I mean, from your high school or secondary school or whichever school until your bachelor's degree should match with the name on the passport. Of course, your birth certificate, if you are married, you should know that the name should match it. If you have changed your name in the course of time, you should prove it that your name have changed, okay, to the embassy. So you have all these things. You have to find out all these things before you submit the document. Okay, so you should be very careful about your date of birth. That's what I would like to hit there. The date of birth should be the same on all the documents, because I know that when people are doing their passport, they kind of change their date of birth or they change their year of birth, so that you would see that You will not even think that the date of birth is on all your certificate that you have had previously. So when you do that, you see the date of birth will not correspond to the date of birth on the certificate. Okay, so you should be very, very careful. Mismatch of names and then change of date of birth. Every document should bear the same name. Every document should reflect the same date of birth. If you have changed your name, please prove to the embassy that your name has been changed, yeah, in the course of time. All right. So, um, number two, starting the visa application too late. Now, I have said this over and over in my videos. If you know you aspire of coming to Germany to learn, because in Germany, most of the schools do not open application for international students until March. Most of them, you find um, just one or two universities, okay, that open the application period for international students in, for instance, January or February for winter semester. Okay, just for winter semester. And in summer semester, they open it in like October or November. Okay, so you should be very, very careful. If you have purpose in your heart or you have planned of coming to Germany to come and study, then you should plan ahead. See, if you want to come in the next 2 years, you have to plan today. Look at how to strategize things, okay? Or if you want to come next year, you have to plan today. Yeah? Okay. So let me just give you an example. So if you are planning on coming during the winter semester, which is like October, yeah? Now, it depends on the school. Some school, university open application for international students in like January, others open in March, others in April. Some go as far as June or July. Yeah? Okay, so let me give you one trick. If you know that your application, like application opens in June or July, okay, you should just apply for the school, okay? Apply for it. And then as soon as you apply, it depends. If you apply through Uni Assist, I've always said this, that if you apply through Uni Assist, you will know within 1 week if the school will admit you or not. Okay, but it is when you apply directly through the school, then you have to wait a longer period of time. When they do all the application procedure, then you will know whether the school has rejected you or admitted you. But once you apply through Uni Assist, within 2 weeks, you will know, though you've not had the admission, but once Uni Assist submits your document to the university, then the chances for you to get the admission is very high. Okay, so you should start the visa application there and there. Okay, so you have to just book for an appointment at the embassy. Okay, so when you book the appointment at the embassy, if your admission letter per chance doesn't reach you before the date where you have to go for the interview, then you write a letter to your university telling them that this is your situation. Okay, in some cases, they offer you an early admission. They give you a letter, an admission letter for you to go to the embassy for your interview. Okay, well, in some cases, even when the school or the time for you to go to school is very near, and then it doesn't give the embassy an opportunity to um, process your visa. Okay, the embassy can tell you that you should go to the school and get a document which shows that you can start um, you can start lectures or you can start schooling after a period of time, even when school has already reopened. Okay, so when you do that, when you go to the embassy, they can tell you that okay, they are keeping your documents for a period of time. So when you get the letter, just mail it to them or come in person to come and submit it. Okay, it's done. So when you get this advantage, you just send a letter to the school. Okay, the school will write to you. If only you can commence school after after school has reopened. Okay, within a period of time, the school will give you a letter, yeah, an authentic letter for you to submit to the embassy so that your visa will be given to you. Yeah. Okay, so this is how it is. But if you are fortunate and your application reopens, um for instance, in January for winter semester, or in February, you have a long period of time, because normally when you apply in February, by May or April, May, um you should have heard something from the school. So if you are admitted, they will just give you an admission letter, and then you go ahead and process your visa. Okay, so that's one, there is no problem about that. But when the application starts in like June, July, or May, April, May, then there is a problem. There is a very big problem, because once they some of them even wait until August before they give you an admission letter. Okay, and then you are reopening in October. I'm talking about the winter semester. You are coming to school in October, and now the embassy needs a period of 6 to 8 weeks to process your application. Okay, so in this case, you do not give the embassy um, a period of time to process your application, right? So in that case, you have to be very, very smart. You have to be very smart. You have to, when you go for your interview, you have to explain to the person in front of you, the visa officer, that this is your situation. Okay, so if the visa officer needs more time, or a letter from the school, they will just tell you that, okay, we need more time to apply and process your application. And once we process your application, if the period is like 1 month after school reopens, they will tell you to bring a letter from the school, which shows that you can even start school after 1 month. Yeah. Okay, so that is done. But hey, you really have to be smart and fast, and then apply for the visa earlier. Okay, yes, so that is it. Okay, so let's go to number 3, insufficient language skills. Insufficient language skills. Okay, these are the things you should just avoid. All these things. Sufficient language skills. Whether you are applying for a study program in English or German, you should prove your proficiency in either of them. If the course you are coming to read is in English, you really have to get something to prove that you really understand the English language. Okay, and normally they take B2 for German, and then English, I think B2, yeah, and C1. So this must be like proven. Okay, you should have a certificate to that effect, right? If your course is in English, and um, the university requires that you write TOEFL or IELTS, please do so. It is not difficult. Do so. Just write it and then prove it. If you are fortunate and your university doesn't require any of these things, then your university English proficiency can represent that your education at the university was done in English, so you can understand and communicate well in the English language, right? So yes, then you have to prove it to the embassy. Yeah. If your education is also in German, you have to also prove that you have a B2 or C1 certificate. Okay. If you do not prove it, there is no way your visa will be given to you. Yeah. Okay. So number 4 is an unrelated course of study. Now, if you are coming to do your masters, all right, the program you want to read you should have had a basic knowledge already during your bachelor. Okay. Now, if you do not have a basic knowledge, or if the visa officer does not see that you have any knowledge in what you are going to read, then they will think that you cannot continue. You cannot even start, or you cannot read the course. Okay, so your visa, of course, will be denied. Yeah. So now, I always say in my video, so for instance, if you did your bachelor in natural resource management, and you are coming to do masters in natural resource management or environmental management or whatever, environmental science, okay, in this case you have a basic knowledge of what. And do not underestimate the visa officer. They have been there for a long period of time, so they know set the basic things about normal courses and stuff like that, right? They know it. Do not think they do not know. They know it, right? Yeah. So if you, as I was saying, if your course is really related, you do not have any problem. What it is that you just have to do well at the at the interview, and you are gone. Okay. But if you studied natural resource management in your bachelor, and then you are coming to read computer science or um, what political science. Okay, let's assume you are coming to do computer science or data science in for your master's degree, right? Computer science and environmental management, I mean, the two of them, computer science has nothing to do with environmental management, right? Or natural resource management. They are two different things altogether. So what do you have to do? You have to prove to the visa officer why you have diverted your course. Why? Why have you done that? And it should be stated in a motivational letter, because of course, when you are going to the embassy, you have to write a motivational letter, a handwritten motivational letter. So all these things must be documented in this motivational letter. Yeah. So if, for instance, you worked during that period, okay, maybe when you completed your bachelor's degree, you worked for a period of 2 years in maybe data science, okay, and you are coming to continue during for your master's degree, right? You should prove it. You should tell the visa officer that, okay, I wrote, and it should reflect in your CV as well. Yeah, I worked in the field of data science, and I found out that so you have to explain yourself. Maybe I found out that data science is very important, and well, it will help me, or it will help my firm after I learn, or after I gain my master degree. So you have to really prove that you really need this data science for something. Okay. You do not just write that. That's what I'm saying. Do not underestimate these visa officers, because they have been there for so long. They know all these courses. They know how they are interlinked. Okay. They know how they are intertwined. So if there is some kind of suspicion, then of course your visa will automatically be rejected. I know of someone, yeah, who read this person read psychology, and then she was coming to do natural resource management. So when she got there, she was asked, but you read psychology in your bachelor's degree. Why then do you want to read natural resource management? Because I see that you do not have any knowledge, foreknowledge in natural resource management. And this person could not express herself at the embassy. She couldn't convince the visa officer enough. So, of course, the visa was rejected, right? And when she was given the rejection letter, it was stated clearly that you do not have previous knowledge of what you are going to study as your master. So that was one of the reasons she was rejected. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on. Um, the next point is poor interview preparation. Okay. When you are going for the interview, You should be mentally prepared, psychologically prepared, physically prepared, emotionally prepared. You do not do things anyhow. Please, even 1 week before you go for the interview, make sure that you have packed all your documents, and then you have looked at the list. Okay, look at the list on this embassy site, and then pack all the documents according to, yeah. So when you get there, then you do not get stranded. Because sometimes, I know for other countries, I don't know, but I know for Ghana, when you get to the embassy, okay, the people there alone will make you stranded, right? The front desk, they will make you stranded. Okay, sometimes they can even disorganize all your documents. But hey, please, just be calm. Okay, be calm, and then focus, because you are not going to have the interview with them. You are going to have it with someone inside the building. Okay, so I advise that you make extra copies of your documents. Okay, because sometimes they can take off some of the leaflets out of the document, and then they will tell you to go and run another copies. Okay, and then there and there you have to find where you have to get a photocopy um kiosk or something, and then you run copies. So I advise that you do extra copies, you run extra copies and keep it by yourself, so in case they take off some of the leaflets, then you can replace them with what you have, right? And then of course you should be prepared. As I said, you shouldn't just go to the visa officer and say um, no, it doesn't work that way. When you see, you should be prepared in such a way that as soon as the visa officer asks you a question, you have the answer or the response in mind. So when she just gives you the question, you are just not now going to think about it. You just have to reply. Okay, you should be fluent as well. So I, for instance, before I went to the interview, I had a friend, okay, where I gave all the questions. You can go to my previous videos. I have stated all the questions, what the questions that the visa officers ask, and how you can answer these questions. So I gave the questions to a friend of mine, and then we were, communicating on the phone. So when she asked me one question, then I'll just respond. Okay, so I was doing that training with her for like a month or so, because I had my appointment earlier. My appointment, I had it earlier. So I was just waiting till the appointment day before I go for the interview. So I was just doing this practice with this friend of mine. And yeah, so I just got fluent. So when I just got there, I when the visa officer asked me uh, any question, when she asked me any question, I just remember what I have discussed with this friend of mine, and I just say it. Okay, so in that way, it also helps. It really helps a lot. Yeah, so you have to try that. Yeah. Okay, so we are moving on to the next point. Of course, the next point is insufficient proof of funds. Yeah, this is, yeah. Proof of fund, of course, if you do not have enough funds, okay, to fund yourself, even if the tuition is free and you do not have enough funds to fund yourself, you would just be rejected. In fact, the funds are very, very important. Okay, the money is very important. If you have a scholarship, it's fine. But if you do not have a scholarship and you are going to block your account, yeah, you should get that amount of money. Okay, and mind you, this amount must be seated in your sponsor's account. Okay, the amount that you have to block now, I think it's almost 12,000 euros. Okay, this 12,000 euros equivalent to your currency should be seated in your sponsor's account. Yeah, and even if it's more, it's fine. Advantage to you. Okay, yes, but if you are paying tuition fee, okay, this tuition fee should be reflected plus the 12,000 euros, yeah, should be reflected in your sponsor's account, and the tuition fee should of course, be 1 year. Okay. So let me give you an example. If you're paying like 3,000 euros for tuition fee, then it means that 1 year will be like 3,000 euro per semester. I mean, so 1 year will be 6,000 euros. So 6,000 euros plus the 12,000 euros should be seated in your sponsor's block account. Okay, your sponsor's account, so that you can use that amount to block. Yeah, yeah. So that is it. And then we go to the next thing you should avoid: incomplete set of documents, which I have talked about earlier. Okay, so all your documents should be set. So if they need 3 copies plus the original, you should make 3 copies. If they need 2 copies plus the original, you should make 2 copies. Okay, and mind you, the original is yours. Okay, once you submit the original, it's just for them to know that, okay, your documents are not falsified. Yeah, so once they check and see all these proofs, they will give you back the the originals. Yeah, and they would of course keep the copies. But as I said earlier, it's better you keep some copies by your side in case, okay, in case some of the copies go off, then you can replace them. Yeah, and of course, lack of clarity in your motivational letter is also another factor. Okay, your motivational letter should be very clear to them. Okay, this is an example I gave earlier on. If you have changed your course, okay, your master's degrees course is different from the bachelor's, um, your course you read during your bachelor's degree, then it should be clear in the motivational letter. And the motivational letters should also state how the school will profit you. Okay, when you come to Germany, when you go to school during this period that you are schooling, how will you benefit from this course? Okay, it should state you should state this clearly in your motivational letter. Yeah, okay. So yes, you can go and watch my previous video. I've shown you how to write a good motivational letter for schools and all that, and scholarship. But in this motivational letters, okay, you can just change them, okay, to suit the embassy. Yeah, yeah, it's also advisable. You just change them to suit the embassy, because this is the same motivational letter you used to apply for the school. So this same motivational letter must be submitted to the embassy. Okay, but this time directed to the embassy. Yeah, and it should be clear and precise. What are your goals after the course, or after the bachelor's degree or master's degree? What next do you want to do? You have to state that you want to come back to your home country. Yeah, if you do not state you want to come back to your home country, please, then consider your visa rejected. Okay, your visa application rejected. You should state that you want to come back to your home country, and the knowledge that you have gained, you want to use it to impact to your local people or something like that, or work in your chosen field. The visa is very high. Yeah, okay. And of course, yeah, so these are some of the things. Okay, I have mentioned like 8 things that you should avoid, so that your visa will not get rejected as a student. Yeah, so please avoid all these things. Make sure you are very prepared when you are going for the interview. Okay, and then hey, your visa will be given to you. Okay, so thank you very much for watching my videos. And yeah, please subscribe to my channel. Okay, Ich bin Alphonsine still remains the name of my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.